Hi, I'm Wright, an accredited nutritionist, and I specialise in helping people all across the world achieve their goals without silly fad diets. On today's episode of Nutritionist Explains, we're going to be answering the question, is red meat dangerous? In recent years, the consumption of red meat has been a topic of much debate and controversy. While red meat can be a valuable source of protein and essential nutrients, there has been a growing concern about the potential dangers of consuming too much of it. In fact, research has linked high intake of red meat to an increased risk of various health problems, including heart disease, certain types of cancer, and even premature death. As a result, many health experts and organizations recommend limiting the consumption of red meat and opting for other protein alternatives. But what's the truth? Well, in this video, we'll explore the potential risks associated with excessive red meat consumption and uncover the real facts that need to be considered in this debate. Just what is red meat? Understanding what is and what isn't classified as red meat is really helpful in making sense of the conclusions of the data which have caused such a stir. I suppose this could be argued, but I've found that the most popular, or maybe it would be better to describe it as the most polarizing, evaluation of the health effects of red meat consumption was published by the World Health Organization, who listed red meat as a possible carcinogen. Meaning, quite simply, WHO are suggesting that those who eat red meat are at a higher risk of cancer. Scary, I know, but publishing this classification has led to all of the commotion around red meat, so we'll be using their definition moving forward. So, the World Health Organization defines red meat as all mammalian muscle meat, including beef, veal, pork, lamb, mutton, horse, and goat. Within this, you also have categories of red meat: processed and unprocessed red meat. Processed meat refers to meat that has been transformed through salting, curing, fermentation, smoking, or other processes to enhance flavour or to improve preservation. Examples of processed meat include hot dogs, packaged ham, sausages, corned beef and biltong, as well as canned meat and meat-based preparations and sauces. Meats that aren't cured, smoked, or otherwise heavily processed are typically referred to as unprocessed. However, it would be accurate to say that all meat is processed to some extent, so the term unprocessed more accurately refers to minimally processed meats such as minced beef or sirloin steak. The concerns with red meat intake. I just want to make a point of saying I am not telling you to not eat red meat. I'm simply describing the potential physiological mechanisms proposed to explain the links between red meat intake and the observed health outcomes. And one potential mechanism for the observed link lies in the colour of the meat itself. What makes red meat red? Well, it's all down to myoglobin, a red pigment found in muscle tissue. When we eat red meat, a part of this pigment can be processed in the gut into N-nitroso compounds, or NOCs, which can harm and potentially cause damage to the lining of our gut. When cells in the gut lining are damaged, the gut repairs itself by cell replication, and DNA damage can occur over time. This damage may help explain the increased risk of cancer that has been associated with red meat eaters. One interesting point on that subject, though, is that unprocessed red meat doesn't appear to have anywhere near the same impact on gut damage as processed red meat. This may be down to the potential added chemicals that are found in processed meat, which can lead to NOCs being formed at a faster rate than from the meat itself. Another potential mechanism to highlight are the heat compounds produced during the cooking process. Do you know the really nice crispy bits you get when you cook meat in a high heat? They taste great, but they may actually be potentially harmful. You see, those yummy crispy bits and the charred parts of the meat create certain chemicals which can also damage the gut and potentially increase the risk of cancer developing. Other potential mechanisms may include the types of fat found in a given cut of meat or within a processed meat product, the amount of salt ingested along with the meat, and the risk of weight gain with potential overconsumption of calories. Does meat have any nutritional benefit? When it comes to unprocessed red meat, there are actually several health benefits that are worth mentioning. First and foremost, unprocessed red meat is an excellent source of high quality protein. Protein is essential for building and repairing tissues in the body, as well as for the production of enzymes and hormones. Consuming unprocessed red meat can also help ensure that your body gets an adequate amount of protein, which is crucial for maintaining overall health and well-being. Another health benefit of unprocessed red meat worth highlighting is its rich nutrient content. Red meat is packed with essential vitamins and minerals, including iron, zinc, and vitamin B12. Just to quickly cover those, iron plays a vital role in the production of red blood cells and helps transport oxygen throughout the body. Zinc is necessary for a healthy immune system and proper cell growth and development. And vitamin B12 is crucial for the formation of red blood cells and the maintenance of nerve function. In addition to being a great source of protein and essential nutrients, unprocessed red meat can also provide health benefits related to muscle growth and exercise recovery. Red meat is one of the few food sources that contains naturally occurring high levels of creatine, a compound that helps provide energy to muscles during high-intensity exercise. It has been shown that consuming red meat can increase muscle strength and improve exercise performance. Additionally, the amino acids found in red meat can help repair damaged muscle tissue and promote faster recovery after intense workouts. As with everything nutrition related, the devil truly is in the details when it comes to red meat. Now, while there are potential mechanisms for why it may be harmful, there are also plenty of reasons why it may be beneficial to our health. And I want to say this: not all red meat needs a warning label. Now, specifically, I'm referring to unprocessed red meat. An in-depth review published in Nature in 2022 looked at the existing data involving unprocessed red meat, and that the evidence suggesting an association in poor health outcomes was weak at best. Their conclusion also included a finding that if there was any difference between the risk of certain poor health outcomes, they were very, very minor. Another interesting study which I wanted to highlight was a 2021 paper which was an observational study looking at the associations of unprocessed red meat and processed red meat with mortality rates and cardiovascular disease. This study included around 135,000 people from 21 low, middle and high income countries. Do you want to know what they found? Higher unprocessed red meat intake, which they qualified as being greater than 250 grams a week, was not significantly associated with total mortality or major cardiovascular disease. However, higher processed red meat intake, which is greater than 150 grams a week, was associated with higher risk of total mortality and major cardiovascular disease. So maybe the question we really have to consider here is not necessarily what are the dangers of red meat intake, but rather what are the dangers of processed red meat intake. Should you choose to incorporate red meat into your diet, it is important to opt for unprocessed options. Select lean cuts, and I would still advise that you consume it in some moderation whilst also incorporating other protein sources into your diet. Anyway, hopefully this video helps and clears up some of the confusion around red meat. As always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the Myprotein YouTube channel for more helpful content, and be sure to keep asking the team questions so we can keep providing you with more evidence-based answers.